You walk in, and your hand doesn't choose. It releases. Keys, mail, a tote bag, one receipt you'll need later. Everything lands on the same 24-inch strip of counter. By dinner, that strip becomes a small skyline of decisions you didn't mean to postpone. And every time you pass it, your eyes catch it again, pulling you back into rehandling. This isn't a discipline problem, it's a traffic controller disguised as a flat surface. Picture the same day in a small apartment. You enter, pivot once, and the counter edge is already in reach. No lid, no latch, no step between arrival and deposit. That zero action drop becomes the default because it costs almost nothing in distance and time. But the pile stays visible, so it keeps charging attention rent in your peripheral vision. The kitchen counter isn't just holding objects, it's shaping your next move. Most people blame the pile on being busy, but the counter is doing the persuading. There isn't a clean study mapping home desire lines from entry to counter collisions in those exact terms. That gap doesn't change what your body already follows. The closest, first-seen surface with the least friction wins. And when clutter stays in view, it can carry a real stress load. One peer-reviewed study linked higher home clutter to higher cortisol in women. So we'll treat this as a system audit: geometry, distance, visibility, and flow. Also, when you hear claims that federal research proved the perfect drop zone, that trail doesn't hold up. No matching NIH, CDC, or NSF page appears for that specific mix of entry, drop zone, counter clutter, and rehandling terms. What we do have is something more useful: measurements you can run in your own home in 10 minutes. We're going to turn a 24-inch strip from a default landing pad into a controlled checkpoint. Start with cue geometry. From the entry sightline, the counter is often the first bright, uninterrupted plane your eyes can land on. That makes it the first permissioned surface before you even reach a closet or table. Next is threshold friction. A counter edge sits around 36 inches high, and it has no lid, no latch, no opening step. So the deposit action becomes zero step. Arrive, release, keep moving. Now add walking distance. If your door-to-counter span is roughly 6 to 15 feet, it's the cheapest landing point in the whole home. There isn't a published observational study that directly measures home micro-collisions from entry to counter using those exact desire line terms. But your body still follows the shortest, lowest friction route because the layout pays the cost for you. Then comes visibility persistence. The pile doesn't just sit there, it stays in peripheral view every pass. That visibility triggers rehandling. Touch it, move it, restack it, promise to sort it, and leave it again. The cost isn't only time. One peer-reviewed study found women reporting more home clutter had higher cortisol across the day. A flatter cortisol slope signals chronic stress, which matches what constant visual reminders can feel like. Finally, traffic flow interference. When the drop zone hugs the main path, bodies and objects compete for the same narrow corridor. Bags snag elbows, mail slides into prep space, and exits pick up tiny delays that stack across a week. Now rewire the system with space, not effort. Move the landing zone 3 to 6 feet off the main path, even if it's a slim console. Add a 2-step threshold, a tray for the drop, then a vertical sorter that forces items to stand, not sprawl. If you can't move it, break the sightline. A partial screen or a tall plant turns constant visibility into occasional visibility. Be careful with side effects. Push it too far, and you create a new floor pile near the door. So keep it within one short walk, but out of the collision lane. Test it like an audit. Measure door-to-counter distance, count daily rehandles, check entry line of sight, and trace your main walking path. The common story is, we just need to stay on top of it. The verified reality is simpler. The first seen, lowest friction surface becomes the household default. If you've heard that federal research proved the ideal drop zone, that trail doesn't check out. No matching NIH, CDC, or NSF page appears for that specific mix of entry, counter clutter, and rehandling terms. So we don't argue with motivation, we change geometry, distance, and sightlines. Before, the counter is 6 to 15 feet from the door, sitting right on the main path. Your hand drops items at 36 inches high with 0 steps, and the pile stays visible all day. After, shift the landing spot 3 to 6 feet sideways just outside the walking lane. Add a 2-step threshold, a tray for landing, then a vertical sorter for standing items. Now, the default becomes drop, then park, without blocking cooking or exits. Before, constant visibility means constant mental reopening, and that's where stress can quietly live. One peer-reviewed study linked higher home clutter reports to higher cortisol across the day in women. After, break the sightline with a partial screen, tall plant, or a 12-inch backsplash height panel. The objects still exist, but they stop broadcasting from every pass. The kitchen returns to a flow zone, not a reminder wall. Tonight, run a 10-minute layout audit. Measure your entry door to the drop counter in feet and write the number where you can see it. Tomorrow, count how many times you rehandle the same items from that strip. Then stand at the entry and note what surface your eyes hit first in the sightline. Finally, trace your main walking path and mark where the counter forces a slowdown or a sidestep. Now change one variable, not your personality. Shift the landing zone 3 to 6 feet off the main path, or block the first sightline with a partial screen. Add a 2-step threshold, a tray for the drop, then a vertical sorter for standing paper. Keep it within one short walk, or you'll create a new pile closer to the door. Recount rehandles for 3 days, and watch the exit lane clear. One caution as you evaluate claims: there isn't a specific published observational study mapping entry-to-counter micro-collisions using those exact desire line terms. And there's no matching NIH, CDC, or NSF page for that exact mix of entry, drop zone, and counter rehandling. What is documented is the stress link. One peer-reviewed study found higher reported home clutter in women aligned with higher cortisol across the day. So don't argue with the pile. Redesign the geometry that keeps summoning.